Good day, everyone. Welcome back to Precast Chalk Talk. My name is Hagen. Today I want to talk to you about our hollowcore product. It is absolutely one of the finest and most widely used building system components around the world, not just here in the United States, but around the world. Millions and millions of square feet of hollowcore are used daily around the world to build everything from schools, apartments, condominiums, senior living facilities, student housing, hotels, motels, you name it. Any from covering a basement floor to a 20-story high-rise. Hollowcore is a highly versatile and incredibly efficient design system for building construction. In its simplest form, a hollowcore is a series of I-beams. You can kind of see it here. You've got the web. You've got a flange, upper flange, lower flange. And if you come a little closer, you're going to see what creates the tensile strength, the load carrying capability. In each one of these webs is a strand, a series of strands. And you can have more than one. You could have sometimes two, three, even across here. And what that is, that's a pre-stressing strand. It's 7 small wires woven together. We stretch that band and we hold it in place until the concrete hardens. So what's happening is, we come back at the end of the casting process and we release that strand. It wants to go back to its original length, but it can't. And that strand is held in place by the concrete. So what happens is this element, this hollowcore floor slab, becomes an incredibly efficient load carrying capacity floor. We grout, this is called the Grout Key. We grout with well, we call it a grout mix. It's a sand cement paste that gets grouted in between. And that allows the floor load to be carried from element to element to element. And so it becomes one full uniform floor system. Most of it's used for internal floor slab systems between a basement or even between floors, going 1 through 8, 1 through 14, 1 through 20 even. And the beauty of it, it also is inherently fireproof. So you get 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour ratings from floor to floor. It's also sound resistant. So, this floor slab, when people are working and living underneath, it's very different than if this element were of wood. I'm standing down in what we call our stressing pit. This is where we pull the strand to pre-stress it. You can see this bulkhead right here, and these chucks have been stretching and have pulled back. It's a hydraulic system. We pull that strand back 525 feet all the way down where it's anchored on the other end of the bed. I'm kneeling down in front of the back side of the extruder. I've got my hand on the strand. This strand has been stretched 525 feet of it and so this is now pre-tensioned and ready to go. You can see where it's lit underneath the machine. I've got my hand here on what we call a starter plate. This is where the concrete first gets pushed up to start the extrusion process. So underneath, you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 following tubes, we call them. That's what creates the hollow void. If you remember from our first picture of the hollowcore, it's a very efficient system because it's lightweight, because we remove much of the concrete by casting in these hollow tubes, or I'll say casting in the hollow core by creating that void using the following tubes. So you're going to see that on the other side of those following tubes, there are augers that are going to turn and they're going to actually push the concrete backwards. We call it extrusion. So I'm on the front side now of the extruder. It's going to be running this way. I've got my light shining on what is hard to see, but these are the augers that are pushing the concrete that way, going towards the back side of the machine. So this machine's going to be moving this way, pulling those following tube and then extruding the concrete along this pre-stressing strand. You can imagine the extruder running down this bed 525 feet. It's all one piece until we use our saw to cut it. This saw has a big 36-inch diamond blade that's in this housing right here. This articulates, so if we want to cut an angle or if we want to rip a piece, we can do that. And so every piece is cut and made to order to your job and to your specific dimensions of the building that you're building. Standing underneath the extruder right now, and it's sitting on a stand, and so you can see following tube, following tube, following tube, following tube. they're connected to this auger. So this auger is spinning. This is what we call a mass guide. This guide system collects the concrete and holds the concrete up while this auger is turning and pushing it past the following tube. So it's this space here that is the web, and you can see kind of the formation of the bottom flange and then the formation of the top flange. Web, 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 web. And then this is the augering system. So the concrete's being moved this way. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm standing here just with one piece of hollow core on our cart system. After we manufacture, extrude the product, it cures overnight, and we cut it. We strip it off the bed and we put it on these carts, and the carts take the product outside where we put it to storage before we ship it to your job site. We're grateful for all of our customers and the opportunity you give us to help build your buildings where people live, learn, work, and play. And there are millions and millions of people out there living, working, learning, and playing in and around our hollow core floor system. So thank you. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.